Want to speak real Filipino from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at filipinopod101.com.
10 must-know vocabulary for the restaurant. Food is definitely a big thing in the Philippines, and if you come to the Philippines, you need to try a lot of things. Everyone says it's kind of cheap in the Philippines, so try as much as you want. Let's go! Waiter. Waiter. It's one of those English words that just like ends up in Filipino language as well. Waiter. So as a sample sentence, maybe you're not used to having all male waiters all the time. So here's a sentence for you. Ngayon lang nakakita ng kainan na puro lalaki ang waiter. Ngayon lang ako nakakita ng kainan na puro lalaki ang waiter. This is my first time in a restaurant with all male waiters. Maybe it's just that shift when you were in, it was all just waiters for that shift. Waitress. Waitress. Well, in English, there's waiter, and then, of course, if it's a female server, then you would say waitress. And that's also what we have gotten from English. We just also call them waitress. Waitress means waitress. For example, if you go to a restaurant and someone, the waitress serving there, you could use this sentence. Kilala ko ang waitress na yon. Kilala ko ang waitress na yon. I know that waitress. Well, maybe you should ask for her autograph. Don't ask for a discount. Come on, guys. She's working. It's pay her and give her a tip, even if you know her. Menu, meaning menu. It's actually spelled the same way, but because in Filipino, we have a tendency to pronounce things the way they are written. So if it's written MENU, there's no Y in there. So why would we say it's as a menu? It's a menu. And if there's just a small amount of things you could see from the menu, you could use this sentence. Napakakonti ng pagpipilian sa menu nila. Napakakonti ng pagpipilian sa menu nila. They have very few selections on their menu. Well, it's very good for people who can't decide, like me. So sometimes it's not really a bad thing. Actually, having tons of things in menu may actually be oh my god, this is gonna take forever. And maybe it's more efficient if they have so many things in their menu, then they have to prepare that all in the kitchen, so you don't know if it might take you longer to get your food if they have more things on their menu. So be thankful that there's only just a very few selection on your menu. Umorder. To order. In case you're one of those people who get hangry, which means angry when you're getting hungry, then you might want to memorize this sentence. Umorder na tayo kasi gutom na ako. Umorder na tayo kasi gutom na ako. Let's order because I'm hungry. There's always that one person who always wants to chica, wants to gossip before even looking at the menu. So sometimes you just have to be just let's order because it's gonna take them a while to prepare our food and I'm already hungry. So just look at the menu already and order first before we do any chica or taking pictures or taking selfie. Tubig, meaning water. This is one of my favorite things in a restaurant. Tubig. Because, in Philippines it's hot and it's you just after walking around all day or doing shopping or something, then you just want to sit down and get that very refreshing cold water. Yeah. But not only is it refreshing, it's also good for you. So just in this sentence, magtubig lang tayo kasi libre na, maganda pa para sa kalusugan. Magtubig lang tayo kasi libre na, maganda pa para sa kalusugan. Let's just have water since it's free and it's good for the health. So, this is true. Water for life. Panghimagas, meaning dessert. Oh no, but you don't want to hear this sentence. Hindi ako mahilig sa panghimagas. Hindi ako mahilig sa panghimagas. I'm not fond of desserts. Well, if you are fond of desserts, here's the sentence you might want to use. Mahilig ako sa panghimagas. Mahilig ako sa panghimagas. Meaning, I'm fond of desserts. So, there you go. Okay, here's another vocabulary you must know for the restaurant, which is chef. It also means chef. We have this culture now where we have celebrity chefs, so we might want to use this sentence. Sikat ang chef sa kainan na ito. Sikat ang chef sa kainan na ito. The chef of this restaurant is famous. I guess it's also another way of saying the food in this restaurant is gonna be expensive. Masarap. Delicious. Yeah, definitely if you want to say that like what you ate was very good, then you should say it's masarap. For example, like you just ate somewhere that serves you fried chicken and you really thought it was delicious, then you could say this sample sentence. Masarap ang fried chicken. Masarap ang fried chicken. Fried chicken is delicious. I guess if you just like fried chicken in general, you could also say this. Or if you'd like to recommend the fried chicken in a certain store, then yeah, please go ahead and use this sentence. Kainan, which means restaurant. I guess kainan is just like generally a place where you eat. Sometimes it can be a canteen or a cafeteria. It's also like a restaurant. Mahilig akong kumain sa mga murang kainan. Mahilig akong kumain sa mga murang kainan. I like to eat at cheap restaurants. Yeah, I like this too actually. Like there is some like eateries in the Philippines which are known for like serving like they're called lutong bahay, which literally means like home cooked. So it's actually just like a house and they have like I guess a big enough area like in the garage or something, and then they just like cook like whatever like 3 sets of main dish, and then people just like go there during lunch, and it's very cheap, but it's still like it has that home cooked vibe, so it's very good. Recibo, meaning receipt. So you go to a restaurant and you want your company to pay for it, so you might want to ask for that receipt. Your boss might say this to you, or like you might have a rule for your company saying, laging hingiin ang resibo pagkatapos kumain sa kainan. Laging hingiin ang resibo pagkatapos kumain sa kainan. Always ask for the receipt after eating at a restaurant. Do your invoices properly?
The top 25 phrases. Let's begin. Kamusta ka? Hello, how are you? The first phrase is kamusta ka? Hello or how are you? So when you're meeting someone for the first time, you try to be a bit more polite and say, instead of kamusta ka, you say kamusta po kayo, which is the same as hello, how are you? Magandang umaga. Good morning. So the next word is magandang umaga, which means good morning. People there are very, very warm, very kind. So it's very common to hear like people greeting each other when they pass by each other in the corridor and like in the classroom, for example, in the office. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Magandang tanghali. Good noon. So now what do we say when it's noon? We say magandang tanghali. Good noon. In the Philippines, especially during lunchtime, when you come in and then like it's everyone is eating, you always say magandang tanghali. And then when they hear you say it, you sound as if you're a native speaker. Magandang hapon. Good afternoon. Okay, so when the morning is done, noon is over, then what do you say? Magandang hapon. Good afternoon. Magandang gabi. Good evening. So if you want to say good evening, you say magandang gabi. Anong pangalan mo? What's your name? So what if you're going to ask someone for their name? So you say, Anong pangalan mo? Or, what's your name? If you meet someone for the first time, if it's the morning, you say, Good morning, what's your name? Magandang umaga, anong pangalan mo? When you want to ask someone for their name, you need to be polite. So, you add po, which is the particle, and then you use the plural form of you. So you say, ano pong pangalan nyo? Ako si, I'm. If you are on the receiving end of that question, then you say, ako si, name. Or, I'm, name. Ako si Erica. I'm Erica. Ikinagagalak kong makilala ka. Nice to meet you. If you want to express now how happy you are to meet this new person, then you would say, ikinagagalak kong makilala ka. Nice to meet you. Since this is the first time you're meeting this person, you should use the polite form, which is, ikinagagalak ko po kayong makilala. Ayos lang ako. Ikaw. I'm fine. And you? When someone asks you, how are you? Of course, either you are okay or you're not. You will say, you are fine. So how do you say it in Filipino? You would say, ayos lang ako. Ikaw. In English, I'm fine. And you? Or if you are not okay, you can say, ayos lang ako. Ikaw. Paki. Please. So if you want to ask someone for a favor, what would you say? In English, we say please. In Filipino, we use a prefix that we say as paki. We add to another verb. So for example, we say, please bring this to the office. Then you will say in Filipino, pakidala ito sa opisina. Salamat. Thank you. Salamat or thank you. Walang anuman. You're welcome. Then, you also want to be polite and say, you're welcome. Or in Filipino, walang anuman. Oo. Yes. How do you express agreement in Filipino? You say, oo, which means yes. Very simple. For example, there's an older person talking to you and you want to say yes. You should be a bit more polite and say, opo. Hindi. No. So what if you want to say no? Then you use hindi. Or if you want to be polite, you say hindi po. Sige. Okay. So say you have a friend who asks you, do you want to drink with me all night, have party all night, you know, those kind of things. And then you say, yeah, fine, okay. So in Filipino, you say, sige. Paumanhin. Excuse me. So for example, you have an older colleague at work and this person is busy, but you need to ask her for something. So you say, excuse me. And in Filipino, you say, paumanhin or paumanhin po to be more polite. Patawad. I'm sorry. If you did something really, really bad, then we use patawad. I'm sorry. Anong oras na? What time is it? So what does anong oras na mean? It means, what time is it? Nasaan ang CR? Where is the restroom? Nasaan ang CR? Or, to be polite, because even at that time, you have to be polite, even if it's like really urgent. You have to be polite. You say, nasaan po ang CR? Hindi ko alam. I don't know. Hindi ko alam. I don't know. If your boss asks you, oh, where is your office mate, this person? And then you don't know, then you say, hindi ko po alam. Sandali lang. Wait a moment. So if you say to your boss, because your boss is asking you, where is the report? You want to say, wait a moment. So you say, sandali lang po. So your friends came over to your house and you haven't taken a bath. You haven't fixed yourself. And then your friends just want to go out to have fun. But you want to say, wait a moment, wait a minute. Give me like an hour or something to at least get ready. So you say, sandali lang. Magkano ito? How much is this? So you finally got dressed and then you went out with your friend. and you are at the mall, like looking at some nice pearls, because in the Philippines we have lots of pearls. How will you ask the salesperson? So you can say, magkano po ito? Or if you're a friend, or if it's like a younger salesperson probably, you can just simply say, magkano ito? How much is this? Pwede bang makuha na ang bill? Could I get the check, please? After dinner, you want to pay because it's your treat, because you forced your friends to eat adobo. So you would ask the waitress or the waiter for the check. So how do you say it in Filipino? Pwede bang makuha ang bill? Could I get the check, please? Or, if you cannot remember all these, just simply do this. Tulong. Help. So you're walking in the street and then you're very not careful with your things. So you're walking, you're holding your bag like this, and someone stole your bag. Like, oh. You want to call for help. So what do you say? You say, tulong, help. And then the more you scream it, the more people will hear you. Hanggang sa muli. See you again soon. It's the end of the day, and you've had fun with your friends. So you tell your friends, oh, okay, bye. See you again soon. Which in Filipino is hanggang sa muli. But in regular conversations, you don't really say this. We tend to say, see you, or sige.
Want to speak real Filipino from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at filipinopod101.com.
10 phrases you always want to hear. Ang ganda mo ngayon. You look great today. Okay, the first phrase is, ang ganda mo ngayon. You look great today. This is kind of a double-edged sword because if you say, you look great today, did they look not great yesterday? But still, it's nice to hear, I guess. Ganda mo ngayon. Makeup ka. Miss na kita. I miss you. Next phrase is, miss na kita. I miss you. If you're away and they say I miss you, then that's fine, I guess, because like you're not together. But if someone says you and you've been hanging out like every day, that means something else. Like you're there but not there kind of thing. So see for yourself. So if you want to say that I really miss you, then you just say, miss na kita. May bonus sa katapusan ng buwan. There'll be a bonus at the end of the month. Okay, the next phrase that you always want to hear is, may bonus sa katapusan ng buwan. There will be a bonus at the end of the month. Yeah, this one, you'd want to hear this. Especially if you're like, not good with the bills. Napakagaling mong magluto. You're an excellent cook. Napakagaling mong magluto. You're an excellent cook. If you know how to cook, unlike me, and you give your friends some of the things you cook, and they say this to you, then always want to hear that. Yeah. Magpahinga ka. Ako ang maglilinis ngayon. Take a break. I'll do the cleaning today. Magpahinga ka. Ako ang maglilinis ngayon. Take a break. I'll do the cleaning today. Oh, yeah. Like, because if you hear this, that would be very great as well. I need help with the cleaning. Tama ka. You were right. Okay, another thing you might want to hear is tama ka. Or you were right. Yeah, I guess you want to hear this when you're in an argument. Dinalhan kita ng isang espesyal na bagay. I brought you something special. Next one is, dinalhan kita ng isang espesyal na bagay. That means, I brought you something special. I want something special. Unlimited ang budget. The budget is unlimited. Next phrase you would want to hear is, unlimited ang budget. Or, the budget is unlimited. Definitely. If you want like, bunch of equipment, and they say to you, the budget is unlimited. Like, yeah! Ililibre kita. I'll treat you. Next one is, ililibre kita. Meaning, I'll treat you. Ah, so nice. Oh, many Filipinos love hearing this. So like, If you want to make Filipino friends, make sure to say this. Yeah. Ang bait mo. You're kind. Ang bait mo. Meaning, you're kind. Sometimes it's nice to know that like your kindness is being appreciated. So like if someone says this to you, then you'll feel happy, guess. If you want to convey that they're very kind, just repeat the adjective. So it's gonna be ang bait-bait mo. So that means you're very kind.
How to respond to how are you? Let's go. Kamusta? Kamusta? How are you? So the first word is how are you? In Filipino, kamusta? So this is very useful when you pass by someone, you want to know how they are, right? Or you just want to ask someone how they are. At ikaw? At ikaw. And you? At ikaw? Or in English, and you? How do you usually respond when people ask you, how are you? And you? So if you are trying to avoid answering this question, you can ask, at ikaw? Or, and you? Probably you're like feeling too tired from work or something, right? Or you can, like casually, more people would say, ikaw? Or just simply, ikaw? It all means, and you. So it's a kind of like a nice gesture if someone asks you, how are you? And then you want to ask the same question because you just want to be nice. Kamusta ka naman kamakailan? Kamusta ka naman kamakailan? How have you been recently? So if you want to be more specific about asking them how they are in a certain period of time, you can ask, kamusta ka naman kamakailan? Or, how have you been recently? So, probably you would have friends that would have gone to vacation or would have found a new job or would have graduated from university, which is all me. And then, you can ask them, how have you been recently? Mabuti ako. Mabuti ako. I'm fine. So how do you answer all these how are you questions and variations of how are you? First, you can say, if you are really feeling this, mabuti ako, or I'm fine. Of course, you can say it if you're not fine, right? I mean, if you just want to because sometimes when you say, I'm not so okay, I'm feeling a bit down, then they would ask you more things. But sometimes if you don't want to answer any of these things, but you are not fine, you can still say, I'm fine. But in Filipino, you ask people how are you because you want to know how they are. Or we don't really say this as a greeting. Okay naman ako. Okay naman ako. I'm not bad. Aside from I'm fine, how can you respond to how are you? You can say, okay naman ako, or I'm not bad. So if you are feeling like saying that you are not so fine, but you are also not fine, you can say, well, I'm not bad. It's okay. Everything's cool. But I'm crying inside. I'm dead inside. Okay. Inaantok ako. Inaantok ako. I'm sleepy. If you're feeling sleepy, you can say, inaantok ako, or I'm sleepy. After lunch, usually that's the time when you feel this, you're really sleepy. Even though you have lots of work, you're feeling sleepy, or sometimes you don't have lots of work, you're feeling sleepy. So, you can say it. It's valid, it's okay. Just don't say it to your boss. I don't think, if your boss asks you, how are you? I'm sleepy. Oh, that's not really good. Well, probably you should go home, not come back anymore. Goodbye. Thank you for your service. That's how it will go, right? Masama ang pakiramdam ko. Masama ang pakiramdam ko. I'm feeling bad. Or if you are not feeling so well, you can say, masama ang pakiramdam ko. Or, I'm feeling bad. So, you can say this if you have a bit of cold, for instance, or your stomach is upset, or What else? Or you have a broken heart, like those kinds of things. So if you want to say that you're feeling bad, you say, masama ang pakiramdam ko. Okay ako. Okay ako. I'm okay. But what if you're just fine? What if you're just okay, but you don't want to say I'm fine? Or mabuti naman ako, or ayos naman ako. You can also say casually, okay ako, which is very casual. Very simple, okay ako. Okay na okay ako. Okay na okay ako. I'm great. If you want to say that you are really doing great, then you can say, okay na okay ako. You would have to note that in Filipino, when you repeat words, it, what's it called? It's like, it's a superlative version of the adjective, kind of. But it's not. But it's kind of like amps up the impact of the adjective. So it's equivalent to very. So you would say, okay na okay ako, meaning I'm super duper okay, right? Or if you're really, for instance, sleepy, you would say, antok na antok ako, instead of just saying antok ako, right? Salamat sa pagtatanong. Salamat sa pagtatanong. Thank you for asking. And for instance, you were feeling bad, and then this person that asked you, how are you, made you feel happy, then you can say, thank you for asking, or salamat sa pagtatanong. Because of course, you felt happy that someone asked you, especially if you're feeling bad.
Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1, shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the dialogue study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the 2 recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hi everyone, I'm Gabriella. How are your Filipino listening skills? In this video, you'll have a chance to test them out with a quiz. First, you'll see an image and hear a question. Next comes a short dialogue. Listen carefully and see if you can answer correctly. We'll show you the answer at the end. Are you ready?
May isang babae na nagtatanong sa salesman sa isang tindahan ng libro. Anong libro ang gustong makita ng babae? Mawalang galang lang, gusto ko sanang makita yung libro sa istanteng iyon.
Anong librong gusto mo?
Yung tungkol sa mga kotse.
Sandali lang. Eto ba?
Oo, iyan nga.
Eto na.
Anong libro ang gustong makita ng babae? May isang babae na nagtatanong sa salesman sa isang tindahan ng libro. Anong libro ang gustong makita ng babae? Mawalang galang lang, gusto ko sanang makita yung libro sa istanteng iyon.
Anong librong gusto mo?
Yung tungkol sa mga kotse.
Sandali lang. Eto ba?
Oo, iyan nga.
Eto na.
May isang babae at isang lalaki na tumitingin sa menu sa isang kainan. Ano ang o-orderin ng lalaki?
Ano ang orderin mo?
Mukhang masarap ang pizza. Sa palagay ko, yun ang o-orderin ko.
Nagpizza ako kahapon. Kaya
Okay, ano kaya kung hamburger?
mukhang masarap. Sige, yun ang orderin ko.
Ano ang o-orderin ng lalaki? May isang babae at isang lalaki na tumitingin sa menu sa isang kainan. Ano ang o-orderin ng lalaki?
Ano ang orderin mo?
Mukhang masarap ang pizza. Sa palagay ko, yun ang o-orderin ko.
Nagpizza ako kahapon. Kaya
Okay, ano kaya kung hamburger?
mukhang masarap. Sige, yun ang orderin ko.
May isang lalaki na tumatawag sa opisina ng isang doktor. Anong oras niya kailangan na nasa opisina ng doktor? Hello, anong kailangan nyo?
Anong oras kayo magsasara ngayon?
Nagsasara kami ng alas 6. Pero pumunta na kayo bago mag alas 5:30.
Okay, salamat.
Anong oras niya kailangan na nasa opisina ng doktor? May isang lalaki na tumatawag sa opisina ng isang doktor. Anong oras niya kailangan na nasa opisina ng doktor? Hello, anong kailangan nyo?
Anong oras kayo magsasara ngayon?
Nagsasara kami ng alas 6. Pero pumunta na kayo bago mag alas 5:30.
Okay, salamat.
May isang batang lalaki na nagbabasa ng kanyang talaarawan. Ano ang unang bagay na ginawa ng batang lalaki ngayong araw na ito?
Maganda ang panahon. Nag-swimming ako sa pool noong hapon. Tapos, nagpunta ako sa sinehan nung kinagabihan. Nag-aral din ako ng buong umaga. hindi na masama.
Ano ang unang bagay na ginawa ng batang lalaki ngayong araw na ito? May isang batang lalaki na nagbabasa ng kanyang talaarawan. Ano ang unang bagay na ginawa ng batang lalaki ngayong araw na ito?
Maganda ang panahon. Nag-swimming ako sa pool noong hapon. Tapos, nagpunta ako sa sinehan nung kinagabihan. Nag-aral din ako ng buong umaga. Hindi na masama.
May isang lalaki at isang babae na tumitingin sa isang larawan. Anong larawan ang tinitignan nila? Ito yung larawan ng soccer team kung saan miyembro ang anak mo, hindi ba? Sino dito ang anak mo?
Ito,
Ah, siya ang pinakamatangkad.
oo, mas matangkad pa siya kaysa sa akin.
Anong larawan ang tinitignan nila? May isang lalaki at isang babae na tumitingin sa isang larawan. Anong larawan ang tinitignan nila? Ito yung larawan ng soccer team kung saan miyembro ang anak mo, hindi ba? Sino dito ang anak mo?
Ito,
Ah, siya ang pinakamatangkad.
oo, mas matangkad pa siya kaysa sa akin.